Welcome back to Relocation. In today's episode, we're diving into a critical aspect of moving that often puzzles many: cost comparison, moving companies versus DIY moves. When it comes to relocating, one of the biggest decisions is whether to hire a professional moving company or to do it yourself. Each option has its own set of costs and benefits. So let's break it down and compare the two, helping you make an informed decision that suits your budget and needs. Grab your calculators and let's crunch some numbers. Hello, savvy movers. Are you in the midst of planning a move but stuck on whether to hire professionals or take on the challenge yourself? It's a common dilemma. While DIY moves are often perceived as the cheaper option, there are several hidden factors to consider. Similarly, while hiring movers might seem more expensive, it can be cost-effective in certain scenarios. Let's dissect both options to give you a clear financial perspective. Upfront costs. Professional movers typically charge based on the volume or weight of items, distance of the move, and additional services like packing and unpacking. For example, a local move of 500 cubic feet within the same city might cost around $1,000, while a long-distance move of 1,000 cubic feet across the country could cost $5,000 or more. The average cost of hiring a professional moving company in the United States is $23,300. Additional services. Full-service movers can handle everything from packing to furniture disassembly. While this adds to the cost, it significantly reduces your workload. For example, packing services typically cost around $100 per hour, while furniture disassembly and assembly can cost $200 per item. Insurance and liability. Professional movers usually offer insurance options to protect your belongings, which is an added cost but provides peace of mind. Moving insurance typically costs around 1% of the total value of your belongings. Time and convenience. Hiring movers saves a tremendous amount of time and stress, which, while not directly monetary, is a significant factor in overall cost. For example, a DIY move can take several days or even weeks, while a professional move can be completed in a matter of hours. Additionally, hiring movers takes the guesswork out of the process, ensuring that your belongings are safely transported to your new home. DIY moves are often perceived as the cheaper option, but there are several hidden costs to consider. For example, you will need to purchase packing materials, rent a truck or van, and hire help if you do not have enough friends or family to help you. Additionally, you will be responsible for packing and unpacking your belongings, which can be a time-consuming and labor-intensive process. The average cost of a DIY move is around $1,200, but this can vary significantly depending on the size and distance of the move. Additionally, DIY moves are more likely to result in damage to your belongings, which can lead to additional costs. Ultimately, the best way to determine whether to hire movers or do it yourself is to weigh the pros and cons of each option. If you are short on time or do not have the physical strength to handle a DIY move, hiring movers is likely the best option. However, if you are on a tight budget and are willing to put in the time and effort, a DIY move may be a more cost-effective option. Here are some additional tips for planning a DIY move. Start early and give yourself plenty of time to pack and organize your belongings. Make a list of everything you need to move and the supplies you will need. Shop around for the best deals on packing materials and rental trucks. Hire help if you need it, especially for heavy lifting or large items. Be sure to label your boxes and furniture pieces clearly. Take pictures of your belongings before you pack them up in case anything gets lost or damaged. Keep a close eye on your belongings during the move. Unpack your belongings as soon as possible to avoid damage. Understanding DIY moving expenses. Truck rental. The cost of renting a truck for a DIY move will vary depending on the size of the truck, the rental duration, and the distance of the move. For example, a small truck rental for a one-day move within the city may cost around $100, while a large truck rental for a week-long move across the country may cost around $1,000. Packing supplies. While you can find some packing supplies for free, you may still need to purchase things like bubble wrap, boxes, and packing tape. The cost of these supplies will vary depending on the size and number of items you are moving. Fuel costs. Don't forget to factor in the cost of fuel for the moving truck, especially for long-distance moves. The cost of fuel will vary depending on the distance of the move, the type of truck you are renting, and the current fuel prices. Additional equipment. Renting moving equipment like dollies or furniture pads can add to your total cost. The cost of these items will vary depending on the type of equipment you need and the length of time you need them for. Time and labor. DIY moves require significant time and physical effort. The value of your time and potential physical toll should be considered when calculating the total cost of your move. If you are considering a DIY move, it is important to factor in all of these costs to make sure that you are getting the best deal possible. By doing your research and planning ahead, you can save money and stress on your next move. There are a number of potential savings and hidden costs associated with DIY moves. DIY savings. The most apparent saving in a DIY move is the labor cost. If you have friends or family willing to help, you can save a lot on the cost of hiring movers. You can also save money by packing your own belongings and driving the moving truck yourself. If you have the time and energy, you can save money by doing all of the packing and unpacking yourself. Hidden costs of DIY. One of the biggest hidden costs of DIY moves is the potential for damage to your belongings. If you are not careful, you could damage your furniture, appliances, or other belongings during the move. Another hidden cost of DIY moves is the cost of rental extensions. If you need to rent a truck or trailer for longer than you originally planned, you could end up paying more than you expected. You could also end up paying more for fuel than you anticipated if you are driving a long distance. Moving company hidden costs. Moving companies often charge extra fees for moving heavy items, long carry fees, or last-minute changes. You could also end up paying more if you need to rent a truck or trailer from the moving company. Ultimately, the decision of whether to hire a moving company or do it yourself depends on your individual circumstances. If you have the time, energy, and resources to DIY your move, you could save a lot of money. However, if you are concerned about the potential for damage to your belongings, or if you do not have the time or energy to do it yourself, hiring a moving company may be a better option. Risk factors. There are a number of risks associated with DIY moving, including injury. Moving heavy objects can be dangerous, and there is a risk of falls, strains, and other injuries. Damage to belongings. If you are not careful, you could damage your belongings during the move. Vehicle accidents. If you are not used to driving a large moving truck, you could be more likely to have an accident. In addition, there is always the risk of miscommunication or scheduling issues when working with a professional moving company. However, these risks are generally less severe than the risks associated with DIY moving. If you are considering a DIY move, it is important to weigh the risks and benefits carefully. If you are not confident in your ability to safely and efficiently move your belongings, it is best to hire a professional moving company. In conclusion, deciding between a DIY move and hiring a moving company boils down to your budget, time constraints, and personal preferences. A DIY move can be more budget-friendly but requires more effort and time. On the other hand, hiring a moving company, while potentially more expensive, offers convenience and efficiency. We hope this comparison helps you make the best choice for your upcoming move. For more insights into moving and budgeting, don't forget to subscribe to Relocation. Stay savvy, and we'll see you in the next video. Explore more about moving and budgeting in our playlist. Subscribe for updates and tips on making your next move smooth and cost-effective. Here's to smart moving.